Today, I'm doing one of the coolest hikes in the Chamonix area. The Gran Balcon Nord hike, which is also part of the Tour du Mont Blanc. While I'm doing this hike, I'll also talk about a subject a lot of beginner mountaineers struggle with, and one I get a lot of questions on. How do you get into mountaineering on a budget? I have another 500 meters to go until the views begin. Plenty of time to give you 5 tips on how to climb mountains on a budget. Don't obsess over fancy, expensive equipment when you're just starting out. Shops like Decathlon have excellent equipment for mountaineering. It's heavier than the most efficient brands out there, but sometimes it can be 3 times cheaper. Viv and I climbed Pico de Orizaba almost fully in Decathlon gear. Also, you don't have to buy new gear. eBay is a great place where you can buy second-hand equipment. For Aconcagua, I bought my boots second-hand from eBay. A lot of people buy fancy new equipment, realize mountaineering isn't for them, and then sell it for cheap. In the case of boots, this can actually be a good thing, since they're already gonna come worn in. Refuge Plan de la Guille. Man, you get to this refuge and you just have views for days. Came a long way already. I took a little detour from the main path because I remember there's a lovely little lake somewhere around here, which is also very quiet. Okay, it might not be that quiet. You might be tempted to go to the Swiss Alps straight away, but as you might have guessed it ain't gonna be cheap. Whenever we book a trip, we look at transportation. What's the cheapest flight? Are there any bus options? We then look at accommodation. Can we find any cheap accommodation in peak season? Can we camp? Also, the country itself. Is it budget friendly, or is a sandwich gonna cost like 8 euros? When the coffee is too expensive in Switzerland. In the Alps, usually Italy and Slovenia are the cheapest. But in Europe you can find so many other mountain ranges, like the Tatras, the Pyrenees, the Carpathians, and all of them have some great mountaineering. Then we just make a decision based on all of these factors. All I'm gonna do now is follow that path as far as the eye can see. How awesome is this part of the hike? And for like 2 hours it's completely flat. There are gonna be points where you're gonna have a 5 or 6 a.m. flight that's way cheaper than the afternoon flight. You're gonna have routes that take a cable car up, but you could walk instead and save some money. There are 1,000 examples where you can save money. From bringing your own food and not eating breakfast at a bed and breakfast, to taking instant coffee, for example, and not buying coffee out. Viv, why do you have a helmet on your head in the airport?
Not paying for extra luggage.
All of these things just bring a little bit more discomfort to your trip. But the bigger the mountains you're gonna want to climb, the bigger the discomfort is gonna be. So I would just think about it as training for that. Sick view. Oh my god, look at that. That granite monster. I think that's Drew, a gilded Drew or something. Booking in advance is completely underrated. And I have to give all of the credit to Viv because she is a gangster when it comes to this. So if your season is summer, try to book everything in January. The flights are exponentially cheaper in the beginning of the year. Trains, when it comes to Switzerland, for example, are way cheaper in advance. Car rental, accommodation, you name it. The refuge down there, where Mer de Glace is. Refuge du Mont Blanc. It feels so good to be in the shade. It's actually such a hot day. But also, the main part of the trail is busy. The one that you can take a gondola and a cable car to. And now the descent through the forest is a lot quieter. Before the last tip, I want to let you guys know that we're changing what we're offering on Patreon. Saying this next line makes me think of that old influencer joke on the internet. So a lot of you guys have been recently asking us what gear we're wearing in the videos, but you know, no one's actually asking. Jokes aside, a lot of you guys did ask us about information on the routes, how we got there, where we stayed, the GPS files that we used, equipment rentals, etc, etc. On our Patreon, we'll now be offering guides for the trips you've seen us do in the videos. We already put out several on the platform, and more are coming out every month. Quick disclaimer though, these are not guides on how to climb the mountain, because neither of us are mountain guides. But this is information about how we did all of the trips that we did so far, independently and unsupported.
You can sit next to me. Yay!
Viv, inform them, tell them Viv. What is the last tip? Tell them.
So,
tell them.
hot tip number 5. It's number 5, right?
Yeah, there's the last one.
Number 5. Lesson I have learned recently, insurance. I mean, there are some that are really expensive, like Global Rescue, and then there are some that are like moderate, like BMC. And then there's some good ones.
Tell them, Viv, tell them.
What is it?
Austrian Alpine Club.
Austrian Alpine Club.
Yeah. Doesn't sponsor this video, by the way.
Does not sponsor this video. No one sponsors this video. No, but one day. Austrian Alpine Club.
Yeah.
Is fantastic. So you sign up for a membership, and it's like, I think £50, €60 per person. That gets you 1 year, and then it also includes an insurance for your mountaineering trips, and it also gives you a discount at all the huts.
So it's basically insurance and a HUD discount in one, isn't it?
in one. So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other hot tip is actually just buying a regular insurance and then buying a top-up mountaineering insurance just for the days that you're on the mountain. So we've done this a couple of times because BMC insuring like a 3-week holiday, you have
Yeah.
to insure from beginning to end, and it was expensive. So top-up insurance, next big tip.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Spent way too long trying to find budget things for us.
I know. It's a great tip. Now you're gonna feed me some beer?
Yeah, I think you deserve it. You did well.